Court will note the appearance of Mr. Todd on behalf of the plaintiff. This matter is before the court on the plaintiff's amended motion to show cause and for contempt. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as the court is aware, there was a trial in this matter. The court ordered that parenting time would start November 1st. The judgment indicated that parenting time would take place, in essence, on a week-on, week-off basis. Additionally, Mr. Maddox was entitled to 2 firearms, and Miss Maddox was going to retain the Ford Explorer and hold Mr. Maddox harmless for payments on that vehicle. Unfortunately, at this point, my client has tried to facilitate pickup and drop-offs and has been refused. One of the minor children, the son, actually walked to my client's home. So he missed 1 week of parenting time with his son and 2 weeks of parenting time with his daughter. So a total of 14 days with his daughter and 7 days with his son. Additionally, the defendant has failed to pay anything for the Ford Explorer, and we checked on this today, and no payment has been made to date. Lastly, my client was able to pick up 1 firearm, the Smith & Wesson. However, the Colt firearm has still not been retrieved. The safe was actually open at the time of the eviction, so we know that Miss Maddox had access to that firearm. So we are respectfully requesting the court hold defendant in contempt, require her to promptly exchange the children and facilitate the week-on, week-off parenting time, give my client the Colt firearm, and we're requesting 7 days of makeup parenting time for his son, 14 days of makeup parenting time for his daughter to be used at his discretion. Additionally, we are respectfully requesting the court require prompt payment for the vehicle within 1 week, and in the event that the payment is not paid for that vehicle, that vehicle would be sold, and we are respectfully requesting attorney fees for filing this motion.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to break down a courtroom moment where a custody dispute quickly turned serious. Right from the start, the father's attorney lays out a detailed complaint, claiming the court's previous order was ignored. According to him, parenting time never happened, payments for the vehicle weren't made, and even a firearm order to be returned is still missing. The judge listens carefully as the attorney stacks allegation after allegation, painting a picture that suggests the defendant completely disregarded the court's ruling. In just a couple of minutes, the stakes of this hearing become crystal clear. This isn't just a disagreement between parents. It's a possible contempt of court situation that could carry real consequences.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Maddox, what's your response? You're muted, ma'am. You'll have to unmute.
Hi, Your Honor. Okay.
Hi.
So the day after court, I got a 24-hour notice to get off of the property.
All right, guys. Now the judge turns to the defendant for her response, and things immediately take an interesting turn. Instead of addressing the accusations directly, she starts explaining that she was forced out of home with almost no notice and claims she was blocked from accessing property entirely. From her perspective, this eviction situation is the root of everything that followed. But the judge quickly steps in and redirects the conversation, reminding her that the court is focused on 3 specific issues: parenting time, the missing firearm, and the unpaid vehicle. You can feel the tension here as the defendant tries to explain the bigger picture, while the judge insists on sticking strictly to the legal points before the court.
Were there issues before the court, or why is he not getting his parenting time? Why has he not gotten the other gun? And why have you not paid for the vehicle?
Okay, I'm telling you, they barred me from the house, didn't let me get mine and my kids' stuff like the order said, and I had no access to the guns. I wasn't there on November 1st because they barred me from the property. I had no access to anything. Okay, my kids were sitting there helping me move their things that had gotten ruined and destroyed by their father and his parents being thrown outside and broken into my storage unit. I had no access to the guns or anything. They were inside the house. My daughter, he wrote both of them. He lives with his parents. They no longer want to go over there to his parents' house because him and his parents did this to them. My son had gone over there last because he thought that I was going to get in trouble in court for them not going. Okay, so I have no firearms to give him. I had no access to the house. He still has not given me and my children all of our belongings from the house. They threw them away. They got a dumpster. So I've had to use my money to pay for storage units and moving costs and everything else because of what they had done. Yes, I had not paid on the truck yet. No, I have not, because I had to use my money to do that.
Okay, anything else?
My daughter does not wish to go over there. He needs his own house. They kicked me out of that house so he could have it as a home for them. They don't like their grandparents. They think they're very, very weird. They don't want to be in that house. In court, he said they were kicking me out so he could have that house to take care of his children. My kids have even asked him, did you get a house yet of your own? Did you move in there yet? People who threw away, destroyed their stuff, broke all of our things, threw their clothes in with food, garbage, old food from the fridge, ruined all their stuff. They don't want to be over there. I'm not going to physically pick them up and put my hands on them to make them go be with somebody who didn't care enough and threw all their stuff in the rain and garbage. I'm not doing that. Of course, I didn't meet him on November 1st at 210 East Chestnut Street. They barred me from the house. When I told the sheriff that your court order had said I get everything on the property, that's mine, and I can get it, he laughed at me.
Now, this is where the hearing becomes emotionally charged. The defendant pushes back hard, insisting she couldn't give a firearm because she had no access to the house, and claiming many of her children's belongings were thrown away or destroyed. She argues the kids themselves no longer want to visit their father's parents' house after what allegedly happened to their things. Her frustration becomes clear as she explains why she didn't pay for the vehicle and why she refuses to physically force her daughter to go somewhere she doesn't want to be. Throughout this section, the judge repeatedly tries to keep the discussion focused, but the defendant keeps bringing up personal grievances, turning the courtroom into a tense back and forth between emotion and legal procedure.
Okay. Well, it does appear that in this matter, based upon the defendant's response, that she has not provided for the parenting time, so the court will hold her in contempt for failure to comply with the parenting time. The court will order that, again, that the plaintiff is entitled to 14 days of make-up parenting time with the daughter, 7 days with the son, that those would be made up at a time of his choice, but not over holidays that would be received by the defendant, but at other times, upon 10 days' notice to the defendant. The court would order that she turn over the Colt pistol if she has that. If not, we'll have to address that at some later point if she's claiming that she doesn't have that in her possession. The court would award attorney fees in this matter. Mr. Todd, what are your fees for this matter?
$920, Your Honor.
Court would award a sum of $920, which will be paid within 60 days of today's date. And the court would order that she would pay bring the Ford Explorer current within 30 days of today's date.
Yep.
Failing to bring that current, then the court would order that it be sold.
Your Honor, how am I going to do that when he hasn't paid me anything? I have my paperwork to show.
We'll address that, ma'am. If he's not paid you something, you have a right to file a motion to enforce his payment. So we'll address that at the time that you file a motion.
Okay, well, what am I supposed to do about my daughter, Your Honor?
All right, guys, this is the moment where the judge finally steps in with a clear decision. After listening to both sides, he rules that the defendant failed to comply with the parenting order and holds her in contempt. The father is granted make-up parenting time, Attorney fees are ordered, and the vehicle payments must be brought current or the car could be sold. Even as the ruling is delivered, the defendant continues raising concerns about her belongings and financial situation, but the judge makes it clear that those issues require a separate motion. It's a classic courtroom reminder that emotions and personal disputes often collide with strict legal boundaries. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to comment your opinion, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more real courtroom moments. We'll see you in the next video.